So here's the irony of what happened at Bondi Beach yesterday in Australia when two Muslim terrorists killed 15 innocent men and women ages 10 to 87 years old, with 42 hospitalized, while a man named Ahmed Al-Ahmed, who happens to be Muslim at 43 years old, steps in, we've all seen the video, takes away the weapon, gets shot twice, is celebrated as a hero, which he ought to be. But you know what the irony is? The irony is even one good, peaceful Muslim man couldn't save the life of 15 innocent human beings celebrating Hanukkah, which is what their religion is about, from two Muslim jihadist extremists from killing them. So I don't care if 90% is peaceful. The 10% true believers jihadists that hate what America stands for, that hate the Western ideology, that hate us protecting women.
I'll finish the statement. It's a problem. It's a huge problem. And family, let me open with this right here. John Fetterman is calling out his own party. He's not whispering. He's calling them out. And I'm 100% here for it. And that tells you just how dark the moment is, because this man has been breaking away from the Democratic orthodoxy for a long time. But now he's sounding alarms the left refuses to hear. And why? Because after a terrorist attack at a Hanukkah celebration out in Australia, a family event, a holy moment, while people are still bleeding overseas, we've got Islamist-led protests happening right here in America. Texas, I might add. That happened the other day. It's not distant anymore. It's right here in your face. And the scripture already told us, be sober, be vigilant. Translation, pay attention, don't sleep through the storm. And Fetterman, he's warning that his own party is playing with fire because they refuse to disavow radicalism. And the word of God says this: woe to those who call evil good and good evil. And while the left is dodging accountability, Senator Tommy Tuberville walks onto the Senate floor with the sign that says, shut down Sharia law, no sugarcoating, no political poetry, just truth. Now hear me clearly. This isn't about hating on anybody. This isn't about religion. This is about governance. America cannot survive two competing legal systems. Jesus said a house divided against itself cannot stand. And our nation is built on one constitution, not religious courts, not parallel systems, not ideologies fundamentally incompatible with American freedom. And the Bible gives the blueprint for national order. For the Lord is our judge. The Lord is our lawgiver. The Lord is our king. Family, radical ideologies are not drifting into the West by accident. This is a spiritual warfare. Wearing political clothing. And if leaders on both sides are finally sounding the alarm, the church better wake the heck up quickly. Because the only thing more dangerous than chaos is Christians pretending that it's not happening. We got to get into this clip here. Hit the like button, share the video. We're going to keep going, but you guys got to see this. I need folks to wake the heck up, man. Start paying attention.
Earlier this year, to warn of the imminent threat that Islam poses to our great country. Unfortunately, that threat turned into reality just a few weeks ago when a deranged jihadist shot two of our National Guardsmen just steps from the White House. Just before Thanksgiving, Specialist Sarah Backstrom and Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf were on patrol near the White House when they were attacked by a Biden-imported Afghan Islamist. A 29-year-old jihadist radically, viciously attacked them, killing Specialist Backstrom and leaving Staff Sergeant Wolf in critical condition. He's still fighting for his life today. Our prayers go out to him and his family. So let's make it very clear. The Afghan terrorist attacked these two soldiers because that is what Islam teaches. The Quran says to kill all infidels. That means all people who don't believe in Islam. So let's not mince words about this. Islamists want every single American, and especially Christians, Americans, they want them dead. In 2021, Joe Biden orchestrated the botched Afghan withdrawal, which was one of the most embarrassing days in our country's history. 13 American soldiers lost their lives as a direct result of the Biden disastrous, misinformed leadership. Not to mention, he empowered the Taliban, who came crawling out of the hills to back control of Afghanistan. To make matters worse, Joe Biden then allowed more than 190,000, repeat that, 190,000 unvetted Afghans into this country, no questions asked.
How many of you guys knew that they allowed 190,000 unvetted Afghanis into our nation? How many of you guys knew that happened?
So, not to mention the more than $7 billion in equipment that was left behind for the Taliban, which is, by the way, is now showing up all over the world after it's been sold. These potential terrorists are now living amongst us, residing in our neighborhoods, going to our kids' schools, and mooching off our taxpayers' benefits. That withdrawal was an embarrassment and a stain on our country. The 29-year-old deranged terrorist who shot 2 National Guardsmen in D.C. was working in Afghanistan and was part of an elite unit that was supposed to be helping fight our nation's enemies. Clearly, this person was deranged and should never have been allowed to work with our intelligence agencies or to come to the U.S., where he viciously attacked 2 American guardsmen. While chanting Allahu Akbar, make no mistake, that aims to destroy this country through mass Islamic migration. Where's the outrage from the people in this chamber? I hadn't heard it. If we don't do something to stop this Islamic takeover of our country, we will soon be called the United Caliphate of America. If the previous administration prioritized protecting American citizens instead of inviting terrorists to our country, Sarah Backstrom may still be alive today. Thanks to President Trump, a travel ban has been placed on Afghans along with people from 18 other third world countries, including Somalia. And I've got a message to the immigrants from these Islamist countries. If you hate this country, refuse to go by our laws, and chant death to America, it's time to go home. There's a lot of good people that come from Middle Eastern countries and go by our laws and assimilate with our culture. But if you come here otherwise, it's time to go home. The Trump administration is also prioritizing the deportation of Afghans who are already here illegally. You know, I'm 100% behind President Trump's effort to rid of all the Islamists who hate our country, as I just previously said. Take advantage of the system when you come here. Don't defraud our government. Don't come here to try to destroy us. Assimilate with the Americans in this country to make our country better. We should be welcoming immigrants who are willing to assimilate with our culture and to contribute to our society. That's what we want. Being in this country is a privilege, not a right. If you're an immigrant coming to this country, you need to leave your old way of life and the traditions behind and come here and work with us. Unfortunately, many of the Islamists who are here are not doing that. They're doing whatever they can to turn our country into the third world hellhole that they came from. We are different. We want a great country, not a third world country. These foreigners don't understand what this country stands for. This country owes you nothing but an opportunity to succeed. It doesn't owe you a handout. Islamist immigrants come to this country with a sense of entitlement. And that's what this country is not about. We'll give you a hand, but not everything. They believe the American people owe them something, and we don't owe anybody anything. They take advantage of our system. If this is your attitude, we don't want you here. We want you to help this country become better. The Somali population in Minnesota, as we've been watching on the news for the last few days, is an example of a group that thinks they're entitled to take anything they want from the American people and force Americans to bow to their will.
I'm with Senator Tuberville here. I'm with him 100%. None of this stuff should happen. Sharia law, we can't allow it to happen here in the country. It's got to be shut down, full stop here in America. There's one constitution, one rule of law, and one set of freedoms that every citizen in our country lives under. That's it. No exceptions, no parallel systems, no important ideology sneaking in through the back door. We don't want it. And hear me clearly. If someone wants to live, under a Sharia law or something along those lines, the United States is not the place for that experiment. There are 57 Muslim majority nations on the planet. 57. If that's the lifestyle that you desire, you have options. You have options. You can pick one, pack your bags, and go live in the environment that already reflects those values. Because America is built on equal protection, individual liberty, and due process. The kind of rights Sharia doesn't guarantee. This isn't hate. Again, it's not phobia. I'm not afraid. This is about preserving the legal foundation that millions died to defend. We can't afford to tolerate a system that undermines the freedoms of this country and the freedoms that this country has been built on. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. I'm with the senator here, man. Come over here the right way, legally, and then assimilate. Don't come over here and bring your foolishness with you. We're not interested. Let's check out Senator Fetterman here.
I would say, yeah, of course, we should all universally condemn all of these things. I mean, just imagine two people, organized to try to kill as many Jews as possible. And thankfully that stopped. But I mean, almost 30 people wounded, 12, I'm reading 12 people killed. I mean, just for celebrate a holiday right now. I mean, it's astonishing. And now, like, you witnessed that in Australia for years, these massive kinds of anti-Israel protests again and again and again in those kinds of places. It's like, those things kind of penetrate. And now, so that's where we're at. I mean, how can't we just defend, a lot of these views and now just call it what it is? Anti-Semitism is a worldwide scourge, and it's constantly demonstrated to be deadly, and it keeps manifest itself in these things, just like what's happened now in Australia, too.
That's right. And Senator, a moment ago, Lindsey Graham was with me, your colleague from South Carolina, who said a warning to anyone who is trying to say that there should be a Palestinian state. If you create a Palestinian state, what you will get are more killings of Jews. Do you agree?
Absolutely. It's an absolute betrayal for Israel and for the worldwide Jewish community, like whether it's France or Australia or any of these nations, our Western allies now calling for a two-state solution when Hamas refuses to disarm and are actively trying to kill Jews. I can't imagine why anybody would do that at this point. That is not the appropriate reward after 10/7 and this thing. So I absolutely support Israel's continue to take out leaders from Hamas and Hezbollah as well, too. They need to be held accountable. And I do hope they can work together with the American forces in Syria to take out the people responsible for taking 2 American lives in Syria just yesterday now, too.
And, of course, you've been a staunch supporter of Israel for so long, going against some of your colleagues' sentiments. What about this strong pro-Palestinian movement within the Democrat Party? Why?
Yeah, again, look at the kind of language and look at the races, for the Senate in 2026 cycle. One of the signature issues is being anti-Israel and saying these incredibly anti-Israel kinds of views on Israel, and it's super, super critical. And now people that were just recently elected, like in New York as well, too, that's call it what it is. And I can't imagine why that's becoming more and more part of my party's platform.
Is there something that you believe you can do to affect change in the Senate, sir?
Well, what I can do is I can control my voice and my vote, and that's been unapologetically pro-Israel. And now when you see horrible, horrible things like what happened in Australia yesterday, and now tonight, I'm going to be the honored guest for the 3 years in a row for a Hanukkah celebration here in the Pittsburgh area. So I'm always proud to stand with Israel and the Jewish community. They constantly, increasingly now have targets in their backs just for being guilty of just being Jews. And I can't imagine what that must feel like. And I also can't imagine why so many parts of people in my party continue to back away or to kind of deflect and having a unified view on where we at now, whether it's like in Gaza or condemning these kinds of horrific acts of terrorism.
We got to blame this on the government, right? We definitely got to blame this on the previous administration in our country. The government basically brought trash to our shores. Let's just keep it a buck. Let's just keep it. So we got to blame the politicians. But when you look at Australia, you look at England and some of these other European nations out there, you got to blame their politicians as well. They fostered this, and then elections have consequences as well. When you got places like Australia, who have allowed the government to disarm them, which is basically what you hear liberals discussing right here in our nation. And what we do know is that when you disarm the population, tyranny from the government follows right behind it. It's crazy. It's crazy what is going on. And what's really sad is how many people have their heads in the sand. Either one, they don't care. Two, they definitely don't know. And it's really, one of those situations to where, when they say weak men create hard times, I think that's where we are right now. We have entirely too many weak men out there creating hard times all across this planet. You're seeing it happen. I want to hear from you guys in the comment section, though. Let me know your thoughts. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Join the ARP family or buy your brother a coffee. That link's in the description box below. Join us Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for ARP in the morning. And as always, keep God first, stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.
Vibes so